Good afternoon, everyone. I guess we're just going to give it a couple more minutes to make sure everyone who wants to come in is in. But for those who are here, my name is Annalea. I'm 16 years old. I'm attending the 11th grade at St. Bonaventure's College in St. John's. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm very proud to inform you that I'm one of your new junior leaders. I'm most excited today to welcome Kim Belbin.
Thank you, Annalea. My name is Kim Belbin, Chief Operating Officer at WRDC. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a feminist, a mom, a wife, a sister, and I consider myself a student learner of life, a learner of life. Goodness. I love to learn new things, and I love nature and animals.
I love that, Kim. That sounds amazing. Animals are one of my favorite things, too. So I guess we should still give it a couple more minutes, or Trina, do you think we're good to go with the questions? Okay, good to go. All right. So again, thank you for that, Kim. Now, if you don't really mind, I have a few questions. Feel free to answer as you please with as much or as little detail. No pressure. So I guess I'll start off with one of my, I guess, less intense questions. Would be sort of like, did you ever see yourself getting to where you are today as your position as a chief operator of the it's just amazing. I'm sorry, you're just very amazing. So that's why
Thank you for that. It's a good question. I don't know if I really saw myself here specifically. I think I've always been geared towards enjoying leadership and wanting to be a part of the making of things, wanting to have a say, wanting to have my voice heard, having opinions. And I guess, that started at a young age, being considered bossy and those things that girls are often considered with strong personalities. So I think, I definitely seen myself advancing toward leadership. I don't know if I necessarily saw myself here, but I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh my goodness, that's very amazing. I do always find that people, when they are leaders from a younger age, it's kind of like you can almost tell that they're going to go far and they're going to be farther and they're just going to get so far with their leadership and like the opportunities that are going to just pronounce themselves for these people. And I guess on that matter, what did you want to be when you grew up? If you didn't see yourself in this sort of position, was there anything that you envisioned yourself in as you were younger?
I always had a lot of interests. I liked a lot of different things, and I wasn't one of those kids that really knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be a veterinarian. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to help people. I wanted to help animals. It was always more, wanting to help. So I knew that in some way. I didn't really know where that would take me. And then I guess, as I grew up and as I started to gain some experience in high school through my part-time job and being recognized there as a young leader as well and being promoted early, I think I really got a taste for what leadership encompasses, and I really enjoyed it. So I think I started to kind of hone in from there, but I never had that from a young age.
That's very interesting. I do find that, not to make this about me, but I do find that when you keep your mind open, so many more great things can happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's the best kinds of things. I've run this question over with some others, and they thought it would be a great question to ask you. But in regards to leadership roles, do you as a leader have any upcoming projects in plan for the WRDC?
We have a lot of projects in the planning stages, but also coming on board. So we have a lot of new initiatives, a lot of new things we're looking to do within our organization and to then bring outside of the organization to work with different stakeholders and partners with. I think for us within our organization, of course, we we really value our team and what our team brings to the organization. So cultivating a really positive, supportive culture to really support our team in doing the work that they're so great at. So we're always finding new ways to better support our team, to do our work more efficiently and to do our work better. So and our organization is in a big place of growth right now. We've experienced a lot of growth in the last several years, and I've been with the organization now for almost 9 years. So I've seen the organization grow in such a beautiful way and so organically. So it's really exciting to be in this place now and to have such a large team with so many incredible projects on board, and really paving the way in diversity, equity, and inclusion and gender balance, and really contributing toward that has been really, really fulfilling.
Oh my goodness. Such wise words. Oh my goodness. Even just talking about the WRDC is just so inspirational, because there's a place for women to go to feel like protected and to feel included and to be welcomed into the trades, and that is the WRDC.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Now, I know that this can happen like a lot, especially for people in the leadership role. It can get easily distracting, or people get easily distracted, or we can always, even for anybody, can just get off track in some way, shape, or form. Like right now, I'm kind of rambling. So, what motivates you to keep on track and to continue working and doing the grind? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm only one piece of the puzzle, one cog in the wheel. So my work really contributes to everyone else's work. So having such a great team really motivates me to do my work and to do it well. And my work supports everyone else's. So, if mine doesn't get done, it means things don't get done elsewhere. So I'm constantly motivated by the people I work with, and the incredible women I work with. So it makes it kind of easy.
I definitely believe that then. It's always nice to be surrounded by such amazing women and just such amazing role models in general. Mm-hmm. Speaking of how you are like one cog in the whole machine, in the whole bigger picture, can you name any specific, or it can even be more than one, specific work accomplishment that you are particularly proud of? Whether that be personal or like as the WRDC as like a whole?
It's a really good question. And I'm so proud of all the work that we do, and all of the clients we work with, both the women and the girls, as well as the employers, and to really see, in just my 9 years, to see how diversity, equity, and inclusion has advanced on several different, through several different projects, but in so many ways, is definitely something I'm proud of. But I certainly, it's hard to say, because I don't take the credit for myself, because my work is really focused on the background work to make sure everything else is running. So within my role, it's a very multifaceted role where it includes, finance, human resources, policy development, board governance, just so administration, operations, so many different things. So I feel all of that helps progress the work that we do. So that's what I'm really proud of.
That was actually very inspirational.
Thank you.
It's no problem. It's just very inspirational to hear from such role models and women such as yourselves, who have essentially worked their way up to where they are today, and to confidently say that, to like not take credit for certain accomplishments and to like consider it an accomplishment for everyone as a whole. Mm-hmm. That is very inspirational. And I do know for the WRDC, things might have changed during said pandemic, but, and this is a pretty big question that most people get asked in such interviews, but and it has affected the lives of many people who are working. But how has the pandemic affected you and your work with the WRDC, if it has at all?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely impacted it. I wouldn't say that's a negative thing. Obviously a lot of things changed. We began working fully remote and virtual, which meant a lot of initial setup for that in the beginning of the pandemic with getting all of our things online. Some things already were, but really transitioning our team to a remote team, and all the things that go along with that. So there were definitely challenges, but there was so much growth. And of course, I always talk about the silver linings from the pandemic, and that is one of them. I think it really showed us what's meaningful, what's valuable, and where to spend our time. And I think it's been really positive in we are able to reach more people. We are able to have more impact because, transitioning a team, but also programs and services to online obviously makes it more accessible in a lot of cases to a lot of areas that we aren't able to reach physically, and things like that. But for our team specifically, I think it helped us work better in some ways as well to really be more intentional with making meaningful connections and communications and expectations and things like that. So yeah, I definitely think there was some positive impacts as well.
That's very fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing that. I guess I do have another question for you. I had heard a little bit more about your education and background in regards to how you got into the WRDC and sort of like how the education helped you move up and higher up into the corporation. But do you think there are many jobs in Newfoundland and Labrador for someone like with your education? Or do you think there'd be many opportunities to work remotely?
Absolutely. I think, I see my education as really a stepping stone. Like it built a really good foundation. Having a background in business administration and bookkeeping, really rounded out my initial skill set to be able to really find what I enjoy doing, find my niche. I think with a foundation of business, I mean, there are so many career possibilities just from there, because there's so many aspects, so many industries. Every industry needs people with this background, not just in leadership, but in administration and accounting, finance, human resources. There's just so many. It's such a multifaceted career path. So, one of my things was I didn't want to ever feel stagnant. I didn't want to feel like I was stuck in one thing, which I think is why I ultimately decided on doing business. I always knew that it would be a stepping stone. And from there, like I knew I would continuously learn and build on that foundation. And that's what I've done. And with each thing I do in the way of professional development or additional learning, it's always self-discovery, right? So I find more and more what I like or what I don't like. And it just kind of leads me down a new path or a new rabbit hole on something to learn. And then I have more of a concentrated focus in that area. So I think there's a lot of opportunity going forward for people on this career path within business. And I think it really provides the opportunity to have flexibility within your career. And that's what I've enjoyed the most.
You basically just answered my next question, which is going to be, is there any specific part of the job that you enjoy the most?
Yeah, I love connecting with people. That I think is by far my favorite thing. I never really wanted to be in a role where I was in isolation or not able to have connections or make connections. So I think that's probably my favorite thing. But aside from that, it's that every day is different. No 2 days are the same. All of my roles have been very multifaceted and very fast paced, and I love that. Whatever I'm doing today, my day tomorrow could look completely different. So it adds a bit of excitement. It adds some varying experiences, I guess you could say.
Oh, definitely. It gives you the opportunity to have more experiences.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess I should probably cut in here and say that questions can be asked, like to me or to you, from people who are viewing. But also, very fun part would be the gamification code. Oh my gosh, I didn't rip it off the wall. That would be making sure everyone can see it. Everyone at, oh my goodness, at home, it would be Chief Operating Officer. Just make sure everyone got that. Chief Operating Officer. That was all the questions I had for you, Kim. So I don't know if you have any questions you'd like to bounce back on to me or anything like that. But if not, that's okay.
Yeah. You are a junior leader. What really interests you or fascinates you about leadership that you want to pursue, and where do you see that going?
Well, I guess kind of similar to your case. I always took the leadership when I was younger, like the leadership role. And to probably answer your question, I guess it would be that I want to make a difference and an impact in my community. And I want to be a role model, especially for young females or even like non-gender constricting people, but just a role model of positivity for those young people, someone that they can look up to and say that I want to be like this person who is trying to make my future better for me. As in, I'm trying to make their future better for them, because I don't know how to explain it properly, but it has to start from youth to make it better for youth in the future. To say and act on the problems that we see now and like the little holes in the system so that we can fix it for the next generations of youth or the next generations of kids my age. And I guess I just try and take whatever opportunity I can get to sort of, oh my goodness, sort of share that message and to actively act upon my value of doing that.
That's
if
wonderful.
That makes sense.
It does make sense. And that's also very inspiring and very insightful.
Thank you. Just going over my notes here, and I guess I should probably thank you, Kim, for taking so much time out of your schedule to participate and talk to me today, and everyone else, of course, who's going to be viewing this. I really enjoyed learning about what you do and more about you. And I guess before we sign off, do you have any final piece of advice for me and for the other students, or anything you wanted to touch on before we log off that you didn't really have the opportunity to?
That's a really good question. I guess I would say you don't need to have it all figured out before you're finished high school. And again, not to say that anyone needs to go down my path, but you know, when I was that age, I chose to take a couple of years off after high school. I couldn't quite, there were so many things that I was interested in that I couldn't really quite decide on what it was that I just wanted to invest my time in and my money and my learning on. So I really took a step back, took a couple of years off, worked full time, and really tried to have as many experiences as I could. I traveled, I made the best memories. And when I went to school, I really felt like I was ready to be there. And I was really engaged and I did really well. But I think the best piece of advice that I could give is you don't have to have it all decided. And even once you do decide, you can always change and maneuver and adapt. And I think, you know, for this type of career, especially in leadership, being adaptable is key. And really seeking to understand, being solution focused, you know. I think those are some things that have really helped me along the way. Yeah.
Thank you so much for those wise words of wisdom, Kim. I guess that's everything from us. Thank you so much for attending, everyone, and for viewing our video. Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much for being here, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you.